Hello friends, James Stevenson back with another episode of Who's Hating Hard on Tesla Today. I will play the Who's Hating Hard on Tesla Today sizzle while I let you know today's hater is Jordan Wells. Let's check in with Loki in Loki's spot. There's the Loki spot cam. I've got some overlapping windows going on right now. Let me try and straighten that out a little bit. That's probably pretty good. Okay, so let's share my desktop with you. You can keep an eye on Loki and the Loki cam down here while I show you. Let me scroll to the top of this tweet thread here. 4 years ago this week, so July 27th, 2019, I tweeted a chart of Tesla free cash flow over the trailing 12 months versus the prior few years. And somebody showed it to Tesla critic Jordan Wells, somebody named Ben Buncho Numbers on Twitter, with the thank you Elon profile pic tag here. Here was Jordan's reaction, so I'll just show you this screenshot here. Ben said, "I'm cherry picking nothing." Jordan must have accused Ben of cherry picking, saying Tesla's early investments were for the long term. They were investing in the future, investing in income-generating assets, right? Which is how Tesla lost money for so long. They were below the volume production level necessary to float their entire income statement, right? Those investments are bearing fruit. We're at the automotive industry's cyclical upswing. This is not stopping with an attachment here that is my chart. Now you can't see the whole chart here, but you're about to because I dug it up for the purposes of this video and the tweet thread. Jordan replied, "It is stopping immediately starting next quarter." So for many, many years, Tesla Q members like Jordan Wells would try to warn, you know, I call it concern trolling, trying to warn the Tesla investors, hey, you'd better sell your shares now and get out. You know, before the end of 2019, you'd better try and sell your Tesla shares and get your money back before your investment becomes worthless. Tesla's going to go bankrupt next quarter. It was always next quarter. It was never the current quarter because that was too soon. But next quarter, the company's going to you know, hit a demand cliff. There's going to be hashtag no demand. They've already sold to everybody who wants to buy a Tesla. By the end of 2019, they'll have fulfilled the backlog. The backlog will be gone, and then there'll be no more buyers for Teslas. Nobody will be interested next year in buying the best cars available because they'll have all bought their Tesla this year, and then Tesla's doomed, right? Well, I decided to dig up that chart. Here's what it looked like at the time. So you got Tesla 12 trailing month free cash flow in millions of dollars. So it had been negative for a long time. Tesla had been free cash flow negative, meaning that if you take the operating cash flows and you subtract from that the capital investments, you would get a negative number. Tesla was spending more on capital investments back then than they made in operating cash flows. But that changed right at the beginning of 2019 and became positive numbers. So you see a positive number here, a positive number here, a slightly negative number here, but not too worrying when the trend is up and to the right. You can just glance at this chart and see it's trending up and to the right. If you're, you know, just glancing at the chart, that would be your takeaway. So let's revisit 4 years later. Was Jordan Wells right? Did it stop immediately? I decided to update that chart today using the same scale I used back then. So I just made a copy of the chart and I pasted it, and then I updated it with the most recent 4 years worth of data, and then I stretched the chart out so that I could get the scale of the y-axis and the x-axis to both match the chart that you just saw. Are you ready to see it? You are not ready. Get your popcorn ready. So this is how big the chart is from back then, from 4 years ago. If you set it next to the size chart you now need to hold Tesla's free cash flow, it went from 0 to 1 billion worth of trailing 12-month free cash flow. Past $2 billion, $3 billion, $4 billion, $5 billion, $6 billion, $7 billion, $8 billion, peaking at nearly $9 billion worth of trailing 12-month free cash flow just a couple of quarters ago, Q4 of 2022. And even though the free cash flow number has come back down a little in Q1 and Q2, it still remains at these high levels. So what's the trend? The trend is still up and to the right. So you can see you got the same shape of this line here and here at the same magnitude. I just had to stretch this chart out to make it fit. This is a fun thing to do if you ever want to go back and see what was the slice of information we had at the time, and what does that slice look like if you update it with the current info. It looks like this. Tesla's free cash flow on a very positive trajectory. No pun intended. And with that, I will check back in with Loki, who is still napping in bed after eating breakfast this morning. And I will outro and say, if you've enjoyed today's video, click the like button. If you're not subscribed to my channel already, why not go ahead and subscribe to my channel over here and click the notification bell to get alerted whenever I post fresh content. Thank you to everyone who supports me on Patreon or on Twitter. Only 69 cents a week to become a subscriber of mine on Twitter. Or on YouTube. You can join there as my executive producers Kathy Kitchler and Rebellionaire.com did, and I'll see you in the next one.